What is the meaning of life? Perhaps this is the closest explanation to the truth. Everything is interconnected and enlightened. In our human existence, what is the most important thing? Should we focus on paying off debts or building wealth and power? Or should we pursue passion and seek truth? Ultimately, what should we live for to attain true happiness? Hello everyone, and welcome to Enlightenment of all things. Today, we will discuss the human value of life through the philosophy of unity with all things. Everyone, no matter who they are, has their own desires. These desires can be simple, like a piece of clothing, a meal, a place to stay, or a car. But they can also be greater ambitions, unlimited wealth, absolute power, fame, and extraordinary intelligence. The things we desire give meaning to our lives, but they are also the deep cause of our suffering. I remember a writer once said that life is just a cloud of desires. Fulfilled desires lose their value, while unfulfilled desires lead to despair. Therefore, human life is merely a swing between boredom and disappointment. This is the deepest meaning of the phrase human suffering. The pain in life does not come from the impermanence of things, but from the fact that humans enslave themselves to their desires. We suffer from scarcity, and the more we lack, the more we suffer from knowing that it will never be enough. This is why humans are lost and stranded in the vast sea of suffering. So, what can we do to escape this pain? Zen Buddhism says that the world is formless, and form arises from the mind. In other words, everything we see, hear, and feel is merely an illusion created by our own thoughts. Real pain in life is nothing but suffering that originates from the mind. To better understand this, let's listen to the following story. There was a man who died in a common accident while heading home. His soul witnessed the devastation at the scene. His eyes followed as his body was taken away, declared dead at the hospital. In the corner of the room, his wife stood in shock, and their children cried. At that moment, a strange force pulled him into an empty space. In this space, there was only an endless void. Standing in the center, a being who called itself the Creator began a conversation with him. First, the man asked where he was and what had happened. The Creator replied, "You have died." The man then remembered the accident and said to himself, "I am dead." The Creator told him not to be sad, because everyone must eventually die. He looked around at the vast void and asked, "Is this the afterlife?" The Creator said, "You can understand it that way." The man asked, "What should I do now?" The Creator answered, "As you walk, you will begin a new life." Hearing this, the man quickly followed and asked many questions out of curiosity. Does a new life mean endless reincarnation? What is its purpose? Will I have memories of this life in the next one, or will I be like a blank slate, a newborn? If I have no memories, then everything I've experienced in this life becomes meaningless. Isn't that pointless? The Creator said, "Not necessarily. Through countless lifetimes, the knowledge and experiences you accumulate will stay with you. You just can't remember them yet." At this point, the Creator stopped, turned around, and placed a hand on the man's shoulder. "Your soul is far greater and more magnificent than you realize, but the human brain can only contain a small fraction of it. In this life, you've only lived 48 years. You haven't yet had the chance to reflect on and understand everything." The man then remembered something and asked, "So, how many lifetimes have I lived?" The Creator responded, "Many more than you can count. This time, you'll come back in 540 BC. The man was surprised. "Wait, are you saying I'll return to the past?" The Creator shook his head. "Not exactly. The past exists only within your perception of time. The man continued. So, if I could go back in time, could I meet myself at some point? The Creator said. Yes, it happens often, but each life only holds the memories of itself. So even if you meet yourself, you won't recognize each other. Confused, the man asked, then, what is the point of all of this? Why do we reincarnate endlessly? The Creator looked deeply into his eyes and said, You're asking about the meaning of life. It is to grow. The reason I created this universe is for humans to evolve and develop. The man, eager to understand, continued, So, humans are supposed to become wiser, raise their civilization, and improve their lives, right? The Creator shook his head. No, it's not like that. You are the only one in all of humanity. I created this universe just for you. Every lifetime helps you become more mature and complete. The man felt overwhelmed and asked, But what about everyone else? The Creator replied, There is no one else in the entire universe. There is only me and you. The man couldn't accept this. But what about the people in the hospital crying? My wife who fought with me daily. My friends and neighbors, who are they? The Creator answered, They are all you. They are versions of you in different lifetimes. The man asked, So, I am everyone, and everyone is just a version of me, whether they have existed or will exist in the future. The Creator nodded. It seems you understand now. The man asked, So, I am Abraham Lincoln, and I am also John Wilkes Booth, the one who assassinated Lincoln, and I am Adolf Hitler, along with the millions of his victims. The Creator continued, Every good or bad action that affects others is essentially an action upon yourself. The suffering or happiness you feel, which seems to belong to someone else, is just an experience of yours. After a long silence, the man spoke. Why is it like this? Why does it have to be this way? The Creator replied, Because we are one, and one day you will become me. The man could hardly believe it. So, I am the Creator. The Creator smiled. Yes, you are. Right now, you are just an embryo in the process of growing. When you've experienced all the events and lives, you will have fully matured and will be ready to be born into your true form. At this moment, the man seemed to understand the true meaning of life. So, the entire universe is like the Creator finished, like an egg. Through this story, the author uses the concept of reincarnation to explain the philosophy of unity with all things. Every person in the world is actually themselves at different points in time, with different thoughts and experiences. When we understand the unity of all things, we realize that the world is not truly different. All disputes and differences are just passing thoughts at a specific moment. The main character in this story comes to understand the unity of all things through reincarnation. So, what should we do to reach that state? What am I? Am I my soul or my body? Perhaps neither. Imagine that in an instant, a heavy rain falls. Every object hit by the rain makes its own sound. The rain on rocks sounds sharp. On water it splashes. On rooftops it has light. And on leaves it Why does the same rain create so many different sounds? This is like how we perceive the same world in different ways. Some feel joy, others feel sorrow. Some are calculating, others are indifferent. Whether intelligent or ignorant, good or bad, everyone has their own perspective. They argue endlessly, each with their own opinions. Sometimes happy, sometimes anxious. Why do people perceive the same event so differently? Because everyone has different circumstances, environments, perspectives, and experiences. These differences are like the various sounds of rain falling on different objects. Each person is trapped in their own biases, but judging based on them will be limited. What is the true sound of the rain? Zhuangzi said once a foam is made, it's hard to return to the void. When we see everything as part of ourselves, losing individual form is when true stillness is achieved. Once there is form, people have notions of right and wrong, positions and prejudices. All things are without consistency and distinction. Our biases create the distinctions between things. That is the meaning of the unity of all things. There is no right or wrong. From the perspective of what is right, there is no wrong. Conversely, from the perspective of what is wrong, there is no right. To judge beauty or ugliness, we must establish standards. For example, what does beauty look like? And what makes something ugly? But how are these standards set? Mankind has a common bias, and each individual has their own. Is the common bias more accurate? Just because the majority believes something, does that make it true? Looking at the practices of binding feet in the past, corsets in the West, or looking at the practices of binding feet in the past, corsets in the West, or the body modification rituals in primitive African tribes, we see that human thoughts, aesthetics, and views of right and wrong change according to the environment and culture. Confucianism advocates filial piety. While some believe that extravagant funeral rituals destroy morality. But in reality, there is no universal concept of morality. The fierce debates between schools of thought are not about morality, but about protecting their own perspectives. So, how can we eliminate prejudice? I am my own experiences and memories. Just like the shape of rocks, water, and rooftops, every person in this world can be seen as a different version of me. When we transcend cognitive biases, we will feel countless other lives, just like in the story of the egg. At that moment, we will realize that both you and I are right, and we are also wrong. The standards of beauty and ugliness in the past were both right and wrong. The standards of today are the same. If an object is both right and wrong. If an object is both right and wrong, then it itself has no distinction between right and wrong. That is the realm of unity with all things. All things do not perish, but return to unity. All things do not perish, but return to unity. Only by reaching unity can we fully understand this. All things exist in the same unified form. The differences between things are merely expressions of the Tao in different contexts. That is the realm where heaven and earth hold still, and all things remain one. That is the realm where heaven and earth hold still, and all things remain one. As we continue on our journey of discovering the true meaning of life and happiness, we walk through deep reflections and meaningful stories in each video on the Enlightenment of All Things channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. So you never miss a new and insightful video from Enlightenment of All Things. Let's continue on the path of self-exploration and development so that every day becomes more meaningful.